Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Hannah, and in this video I'm going to talk about what I did for my 27th birthday. So the people that I celebrated with, what I got, and where I went. This year was of course extraordinarily different than any other year because of COVID. So I celebrated my 27th birthday with a small group of loved ones, including my boyfriend, my sister, my parents, and my parents' dog Oscar, who is in other videos on my channel if you check them out. First of all, I woke up on my birthday and my boyfriend John brought me breakfast in bed. He then left the room and told me that I wasn't allowed to come out while he did sneaky birthday stuff. That was just fine with me. I stayed in bed and watched Selling Sunset, which turned out to be one of my favorite shows of 2020. After 20 minutes or so, John came to get me and said I could come out into the living room, which he had decorated with pink streamers in the entryway and also across the ceiling, the full length of our ceiling in the living room. He also had put up a Hedwig doll from the Harry Potter series. It was really impressive. I said I wanted to keep the streamers up the whole month. Side note, after my birthday, like the next day I think, John told me that there had been this ordeal where I was waiting in bed just watching Selling Sunset, and John had actually left the apartment. I didn't know this, but he had left the apartment to go out to get the Hedwig from his car. When he got out to the car, he got the Hedwig doll and then came up to re-enter the building, and he didn't know where his keys were. He couldn't find them, so he thought that he'd actually left them in here. He was like panicking. He went back to the car, looked around, and sure enough, they had fallen out of his pocket. He made his way back into the apartment building and then had quickly assembled everything. And then when I came out to look at everything, I loved it. I gave him a hug and I noticed that he was really sweaty, and I thought maybe he put a lot of effort into this, or maybe our apartment was really hot that day, or maybe he was really nervous. But it was something I noticed and then was like, whatever, it's fine. So it made a lot more sense why he was so sweaty. I was just blissfully unaware of what was happening, and it honestly didn't seem like that much time that he was out and about doing everything. It all worked out fine, and I'm glad it did. Otherwise, I think he would have felt kind of bad. There was a pink birthday card attached to Hedwig's feet. Also, can you tell what my favorite color is based on what I'm telling you? This is what was attached to the bottom of Hedwig. This was John's birthday card to me. And this is actually my favorite card company. It's called Papyrus. I think you can see it. Yep, Papyrus with this beautiful logo. This is the card. This is the back of the card. And then he wrote me just a really beautiful note inside. So I read John's card and then I unwrapped his present box to me, which was a new pair of Brooks running shoes. Brooks is the only brand that I run in because they feel super comfortable. My feet actually pronate inwards, so like if these are my feet, they actually fall in because I have really high arches, and Brooks is like perfect because the shoes even out my feet so that when you look at the, like if this is the sole of my foot, the tread is like exactly down the middle, which means that you're getting nice, even, balanced foot, like striking the ground or even just walking. I was seriously overdue for a new pair of running shoes. I had definitely exhausted the mileage in these shoes and my old ones. So these are the Brooks shoes that I got from John. I absolutely love them. I love this white sole of the shoe, the decal toward the heel, and then it says the model of the shoe, Ravenna, on the back, and then also here on the tongue as well. This is the model of Brooks shoe that I run in. Just fabulous shoes. They are so lightweight. They weigh almost nothing, or at least it feels like it when I'm walking and running in them. And of course, they have to have pink on them because pink is my favorite color. So these were an incredible gift, and I plan on wearing them this whole year. I used my Brooks shoes quite a lot on day one because John and I went to several different places throughout the course of the day. Once we were both done with breakfast, we headed out to Starbucks down the street. For anybody who doesn't know who is watching this, on your birthday, if you go to Starbucks and you tell them it's your birthday, they will give you a free drink any size. I went to Starbucks and told them it was my birthday, and I got my usual drink, which is an almond milk cappuccino, except I got the largest size rather than a smaller size. Once we got our coffee, we headed back to our apartment and relaxed for a little bit. We watched some Premier League soccer. Everton and Tottenham were playing that day, so we watched, I think, most of that game. And I also just relaxed on the sofa, responded to birthday messages on my phone, and also got a call from my really goofy uncle, who's actually not my uncle. He's my mom's best friend from college, who is one of my most favorite people in the whole world. He's super goofy, but also like kind of cranky. So my sister and I call him Uncle Squidward, and he kind of sounds like Squidward too. Uncle Squidward gave me a call on my phone, and when I picked up, he just started singing happy birthday. We talked for like, oh my god, I think it was like an hour and a half, if not 2 hours, maybe even more. It was so long. It was really nice to catch up and just like fill him in on what I've been doing. Once we were done watching soccer and I finished up my call with Uncle Squidward, John and I headed up to a winery in Chisago City, Minnesota, which is about an hour's drive north of Minneapolis. Winehaven really was a perfect place to go on that day. Particularly, it was a beautiful day, and it was perfect for my birthday because I love wine. And it would also had the feel of going to a winery before COVID happened, because there were tables outside. They were spaced apart, like well beyond 6 feet apart. So it was very safe and socially distant, and people were wearing masks. I mean, some weren't, but you could tell people did have masks with them. So it still had that community feel, and it felt like we were out doing a social thing, not just ourselves, but there were other people there. John and I ordered 2 flights of wines. One was called the Bold Reds. The other one was the Sweet and Fruity flight. And we actually kept our place settings. I'll show them to you. So this one is the Sweet and Fruity flight. We took notes. They might be a little bit hard to see. These were John's favorites on this one, and then as well as the other one. You can tell we spilled a little bit because there was a decent breeze. This one, oh my gosh, this was like just straight sugary raspberry juice. I remember it being just so sweet. It didn't taste like alcohol at all. This one here, this ended up being my favorite, Deer Garden Blush. It's like a beautiful rosy colored wine. And this was our other wine place sheet, Bold Reds flight. Spilled on this one too. So yeah, this is great. You know, the wines were set out where the circles are. You got kind of an idea of what each one was supposed to taste like. We decided to get the Deer Garden Blush. This was my favorite. I don't think it was John's favorite. It was a little bit too sweet for him, but I really like sweet wines. And pink, what else? We decided to keep this as a keepsake, since it was just a wonderful memory of ours together, and also just for future reference. We've had more Winehaven wines. We've had this one specifically since my birthday. It's a good reminder of the fun time that we had. I would say the only stressful part of the whole day was having to swat away some scary looking wasps / like hornets. I've never been stung by a bee or anything like a bee ever, and so I wasn't gonna find out what that felt like on my 27th birthday. So, I would periodically like get up to leave the table if there were too many bees around, which there weren't. There was like maybe a few that were like kind of lingering around. They were definitely drawn to the sweet wines that we ordered, especially the raspberry one that I pointed out. John actually killed a few. He like smushed them on the table because they were landing on the rims of the cups and trying to crawl down into the wine, and he just wasn't having it. But it honestly wasn't that bad. It's to be expected, I think. They have bees on their, on their logo here and on the top of their wine bottles. So they're part of the vineyard. It's outdoors and it's sweet wines, a lot of them. So it comes with the territory and no one was stung, thank goodness. We spent about 2 hours there, mostly sitting, relaxing, enjoying the sunshine and the beautiful weather and the wines that we ordered. But we also got up to walk around a little bit, just in between the vineyard vines, like where the grapes are actually grown. We went inside the venue to look around. It was pretty empty inside. There were some crates though, and cute gifts like candles and kitchen towels and soaps and wine holders, things like that. Next, after we were done at Winehaven, John and I drove back to the Twin Cities area to go straight to my parents' house, and we ate dinner, we ate cake, I opened my presents, and just spent the night relaxing. I got a really goofy present from my dad. He gave me money in a binder clip. I kept the binder clip and also the note card. This is what it said on the front with this mysterious acronym at the bottom. Plus, he said that this meant please turn over. I was like, is that paid time off? That was like the only PTO abbreviation that I could think of. So, I mean, the cash is gone now because I've used it. There was money clipped back. So he gave me this card and then was like, turn it over, and then it said I had to figure out what it meant in 27 seconds, 27 being my age, my birthday age, and I had like no clue, so of course I didn't get it in 27 seconds. He gave me a 1-minute extension. I still couldn't figure out what it was, and I was like, okay, whatever. I'm not getting the extra $100 like it said on the back. He told me that it stands for robbed from the Federal Reserve Bank of Minneapolis. And I was like, yeah, I totally would have gotten that in 27 seconds. I didn't get $100, but I learned something new. And this is totally not true. He did not take this from the Federal Reserve Bank of Minneapolis, but it's still very goofy. So that's like a very much dad gift, like in his line of humor. I opened beautiful birthday cards from my sister and my dad. So this is one that my sister gave to me. She calls me Hanabi, which means firework in Japanese. It's actually the name of our favorite sushi restaurant up in Duluth, Minnesota, where we've been going for years. Ooh, this one was so exciting to open. So, not much written in here. It was a package and it says, please stop what you're doing and call me. So I did, and I'll tell you what the present was in a second. But there were, of course, lots of cards. This was another one from my sister. So cute. Oh man, and it was just like a very long, sweet card that she drew in. And also, take a look. This was just riddled with hints. I'm a huge fan of a particular artist. And if you read these lines, there's a lot of Easter eggs in there. And also, if you look down the side here, of like the first letter of each line, it spells out what she gave to me. This was a card from my dad. Short and sweet. That's definitely him. This was a card from little Oscar. So goofy. It says because of COVID, he could only give me 27 cents. So I've got these lovely coins taped to my card. This one in the beautiful handwriting of my grandma. Nice lovely letter right here. This one's from my mom. I thought the back of this was so pretty, this facing dual silhouette. Yeah, really, really sweet. This is what the cover looked like, and then really nice note in there. also from my aunt and uncle. And they sent me money. It's not in the card anymore because I used it, but they like to send what they call coffee money for me and John to use toward coffee. I'm putting up some footage of the delicious birthday cake that my sister made for me. It was a vegan chocolate birthday cake, and it was pink, of course.
Happy birthday to you! Woohoo!
Alright, all those wish. COVID birthday candles. Wow.
It works! Yay!
Since I showed you the card that my sister wrote for me with the Easter eggs, this is what she got for me. So Rachie got me the Taylor Swift cardigan from the new, well, I shouldn't say new because she's come out with Evermore, but this was when she had come out with Folklore and it was still like pretty new. It has the Folklore album logo on the cardigan. It has these beautiful stars on the elbows. It's big, but it's the style, and it's super cozy. And because I'm home all the time, because I am completely online for grad school, honestly, like I would say at least 3 days of the week, I'm in cozy leggings and this cardigan. I'm a massive fan of Taylor Swift. Sadly, I have yet to see her live, so I am really wanting to go see her perform Folklore / Evermore if I can go see her in person. I know it's crazy, crazy high demand and really expensive to see her depending on the tickets that you get, but that's something that I need to do in my lifetime. That's on my bucket list. Go to see Taylor Swift perform live because she is absolutely a genius, so prolific. I could go on forever. She's just incredible. So that's my bit on Taylor Swift. In summary, it was a perfect birthday. Everything went well, even the stressful bees. It was really fun. It was festive, it was delicious, it was relaxing. Most importantly, it was spent in the company of loved ones. I was in good health, and so were they. And especially now with COVID still going on, that was really just the most important thing, to be together and to be in good health. Age 27 feels great so far. It feels exactly right as far as the milestones of my life and the decades and work experience. I feel like college is years behind me. I graduated college in 2016, but it still feels like I have some years to go before I'm in my 30s. I'm now in grad school going for my MPH. I'm honestly really happy with where I'm at right now. I feel like I'm exactly where I want to be. The Twin Cities is where I'm from, where I want to work long term and settle down. It's a good feeling to have when you're in your kind of, I would qualify 27 as late 20s, late-ish 20s. It's a great age. One of my hopes for age 27 is to branch into more STEM coursework during my graduate school studies. There's just something in me that's really gunning toward STEM classes, like STEM careers, especially like biology-based and chemistry-based professions. I worked corporate for several years at a desk, and I'm a really like detail-oriented, tangibles kind of person. I love working with my hands, and I love science, and I love studying the natural world. I don't know where it will take me exactly, but that's STEM is really my inspiration right now, just to get back to the sciences and see what happens. Another hope that I have for age 27 is to travel. I love traveling. I try to travel internationally every year. I have friends in Germany. They were people that I taught with when I worked there for a year. It's fun to go back and see them, and I talk to them. I miss my friends who live abroad, so I definitely want to go and see them. I know it's not going to happen in 2020 because of COVID. I don't feel comfortable right now getting on a plane, but I'm hoping that the rollout of the COVID vaccine will continue smoothly into 2021. So hopefully well into next year, I can book tickets and hopefully travel internationally with John. That's something that we're both hoping for in the next year. I think it'll happen before I turn 28, so we'll see. that is a recap of my 27th birthday. I hope that you enjoyed hearing about what I did and what I got and who I spent it with. Please check out my other videos, and if you like what you saw, stay tuned for more videos coming soon. Thank you.